All right, hello everyone. I should be live now. This is Jordan from Cloud Underground. I hope everybody is having a great start to your week on this nice Monday. I just wanted to get on here and do a little stream showing off how to make some containers. I've been talking about the Terraria server that I made for many weeks now, and I thought it would be kind of a good start to just show people how to make their own containers in the Underground Nexus. So that's kind of what I'm going to be focused on today. Let me, before I talk too much though, get my LinkedIn set up make some containers so that I can see everybody's messages. So yeah, if anybody is watching this stream on LinkedIn, please feel free to chime in the comments. I should be able to monitor those and respond as they come in. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And yeah, thanks everybody for being here. So again, I'm Jordan with Cloud Underground. I wanted to start off with a couple of quick announcements like I typically do. So the first big one is that the seminar and hackathon is coming up super fast. It's this Saturday. So if you are interested in participating, sign up now, or sooner rather than later, obviously. And it would really help us to kind of get an idea of how many people to prepare for and stuff like that. So yes, please sign up. We would love to see you there. It should be a good opportunity to learn about DevSecOps and what we do. We're going to kind of present some of the educational material that we've developed over the last few years. So you'll have a good educational opportunity, and then there will be a hackathon, which should be a super fun time to kind of like test your hacking chops against some other folks. So yes, please come to our website, which is cloudunderground.dev. If you just go to the homepage and scroll down a little bit, you'll see the DevSecOps 101 live workshop and virtual hackathon, and you can click the sign up now button to learn more information about that and how to be involved in everything. And again, that's June 24th, starting at noon Mountain Daylight Time. So coming up really quick. Please check it out. Come and check it out if you're interested. So I think that's mainly what I wanted to announce today. Otherwise, it's kind of just the normal thing. If you're interested in us and what we do, then hop into the DevSecOps Dojo is probably the best place to like join our community. It's a Discord server where everybody, like a bunch of our community, is constantly coming up with great ideas and answering people's questions and stuff. And if you have questions for us personally, then that's the best place to find us probably. So I think that's pretty much all I had for announcements. So like I said, let me refresh my LinkedIn and make sure I'm not missing anything. Sometimes it's kind of weird about showing up the questions, but doesn't look like I am. So I wanted to show today just how to make a basic container in the Underground Nexus. So this is an Underground Nexus instance that I have running on an NVIDIA Jetson AGX. I actually just installed this instance today, so it's brand new. I'm not sure why the background didn't get loaded, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It might have had a little issue when it was loading everything up. It seems to be working fine otherwise though. Like if we go to our web browser here, oh actually I already had it opened. Well, we'll just go to it. You can see, this is the typical home page that you get to, and yeah, let's see. But if I open up, this is what I'm looking for. We already have a web page open, and I've got Portainer opened up, and so you can see this Docker environment that is running in this Underground Nexus instance. And we can see that we've got a bunch of containers here, blah, blah, blah. And the one that we are currently working on is this workbench container. Not that that's super important or anything, but anyway, yeah, so here's, Portainer. Portainer is typically where we do a lot of management of anything in the like underground nexus that we need to manage. So it's good to familiarize yourself with it. It really is kind of the heart of the system. So anyway, if we want to make a new container for like starting a Terraria server or some other server or something like that, we've got all of these containers in here, right? But we can add more to this list. So there's kind of a few different ways that we can go about doing that. One of them is to click this Add Container button here at the top in Portainer, but I'm not going to start there. We're going to start in command line. So let me minimize this little internet window, and we're going to go to our Mate start menu, and then we're going to scroll down to System Tools and look for the terminal. So here's our Mate terminal. We're going to open that up. And this is, you know, kind of typically where you do a lot of Docker management if you're not using Portainer or something, is just in your command line, right? So we can say, and let me, I believe we need sudo for all our commands in here, but let me check. So we could do docker info, and we're getting a permission denied. So yeah, we need sudo docker info, and we can see, you know, our Docker, like a bunch of information about our Docker environment here. And anyway, so we can also run containers from here. And the way that you do that is with a docker run command. And if you go to Docker's documentations, they have, you know, Docker's documentation is really good. I highly recommend, if you're ever having any problems in Docker or confused about something, go to Docker's docs and look through those, and you should be able to probably at least get some information about what you're trying to find out about. Their docs are really good. So anyway, so you can go to Docker's docs and look up the docker run command to learn more about it and all the modifiers and stuff. But I already found one, so we are going to use a lot of the Underground Nexus is based on these Linux server webtops, and you can see this is a Mate webtop that we're using here. And so we're going to spin up another Docker container that is running one of these webtops. And if we go to Linux servers GitHub page, this is where you can find the documentation, and this is their Linux server and specifically their Docker webtop page. This will tell you how to deploy one of their Docker webtops. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we can find usage. So how do we use, well, I guess it's not in the bottom, it's kind of in the middle here. But anyway, how do you actually use one of these containers? And there's two examples, and one is using Docker Compose. So we could create a Docker Compose file and then create the container that way. But I'm going to show you how to do it using command line interface. So that's the second option here. We've got Docker CLI, and this is just a single command using a bunch of backslashes to kind of extend it across lines. And so I took this basic command and I pulled it into our webtop using our clipboard here. For those who missed that, you basically would paste this command here, you know, the whole thing. Let's see, I think, well, whatever. So you would copy this, right? And then we would paste it in the clipboard here, and then from here, then we can paste it into our container. But I already did that. So that's what you're looking at here. So this is the Docker run command that first of all, there's a few optional things, and I didn't really want those. I just wanted the most basic command just to kind of give an example of how this works. So that's what I did. I got rid of all the optional options, and then I changed a few of the things that are specific to me in this command. But basically what this is it's a Docker run command. So you can see we've got sudo docker run -d, and then we're naming it, we're setting some environmental variables, we're telling the port that we need to go to access it. Normally you would just do, you know, 3000 to 3000, but because we're running this on an Underground Nexus instance, we have to make sure we're using a port that's not already being used. In this particular case, 6050 is not being used, and I also opened up port 6050 in the base Docker container, the Underground Nexus container itself, when I ran it, so that we can access this port from external of our Underground Nexus instance. So, and then the other thing, so we're mapping a volume here. We've got a restart policy, and then at the very end, this last bit is telling Docker where to get the Docker image and what the Docker image that we're using is. And so if we just take this command and we copy and we paste it straight into the terminal and press enter, boom. I was doing some testing earlier, so this image is already downloaded. So once your image is already downloaded, basically containers will start almost instantly after starting them with one of these commands. And now, if we open up Portainer here, we should see that we've got our webtop test container now. So that is the container I just created with the command. And then if we want to see that webtop test, which it's running an XFCE desktop, you can see here. That's what my Terraria server is running in, so I figured I'd just show that as an example. So we can go check out this XFCE server by changing the port that we're referencing here in our IP address, right? So right now we're going to 1000, which gets you to the workbench here. If we scroll over, you can see that the workbench is mapped from port 1000 to internally port 3000, and our other container is using port 6050 to get to 3000. So if we change this 1000 up here to 6050, we will be able to go to this XFCE server. So this is that container that we just started up, and this is super basic. If you are worried about where your data is being kept or need to be cognizant of making sure that you have persistent data going forward, then you probably want to set up some volume mappings and get that all straightened out. But if you just need a container running, that command will work and it'll get you there. So here we are in our XFCE desktop. I'm going to go ahead and go back to our main workbench. So yeah, there you go. You can see that we've got a container going. So that's one way that we can start a new container, right? Is just using the docker run command, and the terminal. I'm going to go ahead and exit from our terminal now. We don't need that anymore. So yeah, here's our docker run command. So it's that simple. The other way, I'm going to go ahead and stop this container now and delete it because it was just an example, right? And again, Portainer is where we do a lot of this management. So we'll go ahead and stop the container. And it'll probably take a few moments for it to actually stop the container. Okay, it has now stopped the container. And now we can remove the container. So I'm going to check it again, and I'm just going to remove it. And I'm going to tell it to remove non-persistent volumes. So, okay, so now our webtop test is gone, and I can show you another way to create a container. So one of the other ways is to just click this Add Container button here in Portainer, right? And now we can do the same things, essentially. We can, have a, container test. Just name it here. We can tell the image we want to use. If we go back here, we can just copy this path and paste it here, and that should get us our image. And then we would have to set up all this other stuff. So I actually think it's slightly easier to run from CLI than to use this new container wizard that's in Portainer, just because there's a lot of things that you kind of have to manually input into this wizard. So we need to publish a port, right? So we would have to publish 6050, and we'd have to send that to port 3000 because that's the one that the webtop is using. And then we'd have to set up all of these, all the basically environmental variables, volume mappings, command, options, all this stuff would have to be set up down here. And I actually really don't want to go through all of this right now. Like we'd have to add some environmental variables. I think we'd have to change some settings in here. So I'm not actually going to create a whole container in here. I'm just going to kind of introduce you to the fact that you can do it this way if you want. It's an option. However, the third way that you can create a container that I'm going to show you basically still uses this wizard, but allows you to kind of have everything set up really fast. So if we go back to our containers and we find the workbench that we've got running, let's say that we just want another workbench, essentially. We just want another web top, just like we set up with our Docker run command, right? So we've already got a workbench running, so we can click on that. And what we can do here is click this duplicate/edit button. And that will migrate all of the options that we're using in that container to a new wizard, and so we don't have to input everything manually, and this should be set up just ready to go. And so let's change the name of it. So we're going to call it or we'll just call it web top test. Okay. I'm actually going to change the image too, just to kind of show that off. So we can change the image here if we want, and as long as the deployments are similar between images, that's okay. And so we're gonna use the same XFCE image that we were using earlier. So I'm just gonna paste that in. So there's our image, and then we're gonna change our port here to 6050 to make that consistent with what we've been doing. And if we tried to publish to port 1000, obviously we already have a container running on that, right? So that's going to give us an error if we try to do that. And I'm going to assume all this stuff is just good to go since we basically exported it from the other working container. So I think at this point we can just click deploy the container. All right, it says success container created, and we can see we've got this web top test container, and it's mapped to port 6050 just like we wanted. And again, we can go ahead and go to that port and check out this container or this web top. There it is. So, and again, because we changed the image, we're actually running an XFCE desktop here instead of Mate like the other image is running. But because the rest of the deployment is essentially the same, all those settings just transfer, and we have a working web top here. So hopefully that will help you out if you're trying to figure out how to get a fresh new Docker container going on your Underground Nexus instance, or even just on any Docker instance. This is how you get an image running. So I'm going to go ahead and take us back to port 1000. And since this was just a test again, the other thing I should say, if you do it that way, you probably want to be careful about just be aware that all your data is essentially going to be coalesced between these two different containers because they're using all of the same volume mappings. So if you want your data to be separate, you're going to have to set that up in your volume mappings. And I'm not going to get into volume mappings at all today. That's a bit too far into the weeds. But again, Docker documentation should get you a long way in where you need to go if you're having trouble or need to figure out volume mappings. And then, if you try to do that and you're struggling a little bit, there's obviously resources out there. Join our DevSecOps dojo. You can ask people in there or ask us directly what you might be doing wrong or how to fix it. So yeah, there's always options. I'm going to go ahead and stop this test again since we don't need it. Sometimes takes a moment to stop these containers, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove it too because I don't need it around. I just wanted to show you all how that worked. So those are a couple of different methods for creating new containers in an Underground Nexus instance. So I hope that helps out. And I think with that, I might stop and show off the Terraria server that I built in our own custom web top that I made basically the same way that I just showed you. I think I use CLI, but it doesn't matter. However you need to do it. And so, that's why I wanted to show off a couple different methods so that people have options. So with that, yeah, I'm going to hop into Terraria for just a little bit here. I did want to remind everybody that, again, this DevSecOps live workshop and virtual hackathon is coming up super fast. So if you're interested, please sign up for that. And let me get my Terraria instance going. Oh, and I'll move my chat so I can keep monitoring that if anybody has any questions or comments. Oh, and the other thing I'll do, as I'm hearing silence right now, so we have our own 24-hour-a-day radio station that anybody can hop onto and check out some basically open license tunes if you are into that sort of thing or enjoy the music that I'm about to play. Basically go to YouTube, look up Cloud Underground, which is our company, and you'll find our YouTube page, and you should find the radio station there at the YouTube page in live streams or wherever live streams are shown there in YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute this. So yeah, this is the music stream, and this is the Terraria. Sorry, kind of reconfiguring some things on my screen over here. Okay, so this is the Terraria menu. So Terraria is a $10 game, I believe, that you can get on Steam, or you can go to Terraria, or look up Terraria on Google and find their website, and it'll tell you. They tell you how to get it in other ways if you don't want it on Steam. It's a really fun crafting, kind of 2D platformer / crafting and exploration like sandbox game. So it's really fun. I'm going to go ahead and so we are joining via IP in this particular case, and we're joining a server that I have running at our co-location. Oh yeah, I usually don't leak the password, and I didn't actually leak it there, so let's do that. I also need to plug in my microphone. It's getting low on battery, so sorry, 1 sec on that front. Okay. So this is Terraria, and the reason that I like to play Terraria in these streams is because this particular Terraria server is running in an Underground Nexus instance that we have going, and I created its own XFCE web top that it's running in, basically using the same methods that I showed earlier today. So, yeah, you can totally set up one of these yourself, no problem. Oh, I was wondering what happened to that door. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And you can see, like, games are always a really nice way to benchmark things because they're pretty not tolerant to, like, lag and latency, like high latency and stuff like that. So you can kind of see how well that these servers perform by checking out the gameplay here. Oh, I also didn't re-go. Let's get my game capture going again. Sorry about that. As I sit here like playing with a blank screen. Okay, so anyway, what am I trying to do in Terraria today? I think still continuing towards the Wall of Flesh goals. I'm probably not going to play too terribly long too. I've got a few chores I need to do this evening. So I'll show off the server for a moment though. So one of the things that I've been working on is trying to isolate one of the corruptions that we have. I still haven't created that beach house that will make my transportation and teleportation a lot easier. See if I can see how the server's running. I know I think the stream worked really well when I was at our co-location, and my upload's not quite as good at this location, so I think the stream struggles just a little bit, and I really need to spend some time and see if I can kind of improve it a little, but just haven't gotten the chance to do that yet. So I apologize that it's a little on the stuttery side if it is. Alright, this is where I was trying to get to. This is where I'm digging a hole to... You can see there's all this corruption here. I'm trying to isolate it so that it can't spread down. Make it so I can mine quickly. More corruption. Gotta dig around the corruption. I was hoping I was gonna get to avoid going even deeper, but guess not. Stuff goes deeper than I realized. Good grief, yeah, it goes really deep, this corruption. Annoying. I have to mine all the way around it. Okay, well, this helps, at least. What is this? That was weird. I don't know what that was. I don't know, but I think I'm going to attack this from the other side here. Go this way until I figure out where it's going from the other way. Also, Probably ought to get my rocket boots back on. They make jumping up and down in these tunnels a lot easier. Ah, jellyfish. Isolating these corrupted areas is sure a pain in the butt. Just let the corruption run wild and not worry about it. But I've done that in past maps, and you can end up with a lot of corrupt area once hard mode starts. In fact, I mean, basically the whole world can go corrupt, and then things are kind of a pain, so I like to have the other biomes actually available. Alright. Okay. Gotta have my mining outfit on so I can actually mine at speed. It's like there's just one real deep root of the corruption. The rest of it's not that deep, oddly. Maybe I should disable this trap. I don't care, whatever. Ah! I didn't mean to mine that much. There we go. Oh my gosh. Stupid gels, die. Oh, I'm so... Oh, goodness gracious. I'm just trying to mine a straight line and it's not going well. Oh my stupid worm. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so frustrated. This is what I should have done from the beginning. We should find that deep root of corruption here in a minute. Here it is. Oh, come on, mining and mining some more. I got a long, well, just trying to make this a little bit easier. If I just go straight down and straight across, it's easier than if I start making like diagonal lines and things like that. Alright. Alright. I did it. Okay. So I do have it fully isolated now. Now I just need to widen the isolation and... Oh, I forgot I can... This might even be faster than rocket boots, honestly. Alright, this is going good here. Alright, come on. Gels. This is a pretty deep little hole I've got going here. I wish that... Alright, come on here. There we go. Alright. So, I think I might head home now. Now that we've got that all dug out, so I can start widening these and line them, and then we're almost ready. Getting real close, so I need to spend some time at these oceans too and see if I can... There's some good items that I haven't gotten a chance to get out of the oceans yet. I have to kill a bunch of sharks and stuff, I think, to get them. So I might take a look at that real quick. Let me put on my different outfit. See if we can find any sharks over here. Oh, staircase sent me upstairs. I thought that was an enemy slime. I was going to attack it. It's my buddy. Alright, come on, sharks. Where's some sharks to fight? Man, no sharks? Come on. Maybe they'll spawn now that I left for a moment. There's a shark, finally. Ah, all I got is a shark fin. I think the drops I'm looking for are pretty rare, actually. I really want some scuba gear, but I don't know how many sharks I have to kill for that. I wonder if there's like a potion that lets you breathe underwater. I don't know. I don't know.
First, you've got the Anaheim chili here, which is quite a sort of mild chili.
All right, well,
on the sweet side,
I think I'm going to call it on Terraria and keep working on getting towards hard mode soon here, so that we can increase the amount of content that I have going in Terraria, because I'm kind of running out of stuff to do in pre-hard mode, but there's a ton of stuff post-hard mode once you get into hard mode, so I got to get there. But there's a few things I still need to do. So anyway, that's Terraria. I hope that everybody enjoys the rest of their Monday and has a good week this week. I am going to go back over here. There we go. And yeah, I'm just gonna remind everybody again, one more time, that we have the DevSecOps 101 live workshop and hackathon coming up this weekend. So if you're interested in that, please go to our website, cloudunderground.dev, and you can see it right here. and go to the sign up now button on the DevSecOps Live Workshop and Hackathon page, and you can learn more about what it's all about and why you should be there. It should be a really fun time. I also, the last couple of streams, I showed off some GitLab swag that they are sending to kind of sponsor this. So we've got some backpacks from GitLab with GitLab's logo on it that we're going to get away, some t-shirts from GitLab, some totes and things like that. So yeah, come and join us this weekend, and we'll be giving that stuff away to people in the hackathon essentially. So like I said, hope you enjoy your week. I'm Jordan for Cloud Underground, and I will talk to you all next time. So everybody have a great Monday. Bye.